Baby, please let me explain before you try to die. See, I came looking for that secret sauce on how to make them R&B beats, huh? Well, listen, your search ends here. They call me Trev. The search ends here 2 times. Hey, but listen, if y'all know anything about the NBA, man, that's a little joke. Oh, and we might have to cut that last part out, bro. But hey, seriously though, man, that last little joke, if y'all find it even funny, for my NBA fans who keep up with the NBA and read the tweets and stuff like that, Michael Porter Jr. that plays for the Denver Nuggets, they call him Michael the Possession Ends Here Porter Jr. Because, I mean, it's true, man. He get the ball and he just jack it from anywhere. The possession for that play is done. But seriously though, YouTube, what it do, man? What's good? It's your boy Trev 2 Time. I'm back again with another video for y'all today. I'm feeling R&B. I hope y'all like it, man. Just check it out. Let me know what y'all think at the end of the video. But if you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you stay updated for when I drop any new beat content. And go ahead and drop a like for your boy, man. And like I said, leave your comments and your thoughts below. Everything is appreciated. Everything y'all do will help me keep bringing y'all this great content, bringing y'all these beats, man. But I appreciate all the love and support so far. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, y'all. I'm trying to hit 500 sometime before the middle of the year. We'll see what the end of the year brings us. But y'all support your boy, man. Show some love, subscribe, hit the like button, comment, notification bell, all that good stuff like I said before. But that's enough talking. Let's get into the beat. Hope y'all like it. Hope y'all like the chords and everything. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. Let's do it. All right, YouTube, we got FL Studio pulled up, man. One thing y'all gonna know about me, man, I'm a pretty goofy guy, man. I'm real country. This YouTube stuff real new to me, so y'all bear with me, man. I get tongue-tied real bad. Y'all saw my last video, but I'm still gonna bring y'all this content. I do not care. We gonna get straight into these beats. Let's do it. So for the first song we going with, y'all, we start out with a piano. I got the tempo set to 110. But for the piano, I started with the Gentleman out of the Contact library. It's an extension or a download plugin, whatever you want to call it. It's also available in Analog Lab for my Analog Lab users. I got Analog Lab too, but we got the Contact version. But here's what that piano sounds like. Got the pattern put up, y'all. Let's go ahead and play it. As y'all can see, man, we start out with some pretty beautiful chords, man. I actually had raised it up a half step from what I had it at first. No, it was 2 whole steps. But we got this chord right here, C, D sharp, F, G. And I got the root notes down here, y'all, layered 2 octaves. The next chord, we got a A sharp, D, F, up to A sharp. And the next chord, we got G, D, C, A sharp, and the root note staying on A sharp right there. And then same chords from before, but I brought the root note down to G sharp as well on that lower part. And then the next chord, we got G sharp, C, up to D sharp, up to G again. Same with the root note, stays the same down there. And then we got A sharp, D, F, up to A sharp at the top. And then it follows again with another strum of that. I actually strum each one of these notes, as y'all can see. Zoom in for y'all. And how y'all strum those, you're gonna actually want to just highlight those, and then you can actually hit option S and bring up the strumizer. Y'all see I can play around with the time and stuff like that. But since I already got it strum, I'm not gonna hit accept. But just want to show y'all how to strum for those who didn't know. But I'm gonna let y'all know strumming is very vital to your R&B beats, y'all. That's really the secret sauce. You're gonna want to strum those chords out, whether you're using a piano or guitar, if you're using an electric piano, whatever it is. You really can't layer put chords on synths like that. Most synths won't let you, especially in these VSTs. But all those other more live instrument sounds, you're gonna want to strum them, y'all. That's the secret sauce. But let's go ahead and go into the next sound. Before I go to the next sound, I cannot let y'all go without showing y'all how I mixed it. EQ, start out with a basic EQ. Took out the lows. Brought up the high lows, brought up the high mids, and a little bit of the highs. This is just a little bit, just slightly. They're gonna be getting tongue tied again. Anyway, compressor. That much on the compressor, 23% on the threshold. It's kind of light, honestly. 11 on the ratio, and the gain up 6.3%. And I put a little chorus on it, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Here's that chorus. Here's what it sounds like without the chorus. I turned it down a little decent amount. And with the chorus. So that chorus just adds kind of like some different LFOs and stuff like that. Plays with the envelopes a little bit. And the reverb. That's without the reverb, and here's it with it. 21.9% on the reverb. Cut out a little bit of the low end, but y'all see that reverb gonna already make your sounds just sound bigger than what they are, and makes it just sound more atmospheric, more ambient. Honestly, I pan that a little to the right, but that's how I mix it up. Now let's go to the next sound, y'all. All right, y'all. So for the next sound, I actually had to turn it into an audio clip, which I'll show you in a second, because my metronome was doing some crazy stuff when I was playing it, trying to make the beat. But I went with the colors preset out of the Summer Nights preset bank, in Analog Lab, made by Infinite and Lifestyle did it. Here's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like pretty much. I pretty much just took the chords from that piano and put it inside the pad, y'all. So I'm gonna play it by itself real quick so y'all can hear it, and then I'll play with the piano. Y'all hear it. Woo! Very atmospheric. I'm gonna show y'all how I mixed it. Got the mix pulled up. I just started out with a basic EQ, y'all. Took out some of the lows, brought out some of the high lows. The high mids as well. And just a little bit of the high end on that treble part. And compressor, didn't really do much on the compressor. 13.8 on the threshold, 7.3 on the ratio. Didn't really touch nothing at the bottom. And then I added a reverb. 33.1%. Here's what it sounds like without the reverb. And with the reverb, y'all hear it, man. It sounds good. Let's go ahead and play it with the piano, actually. Man, that piano melody going crazy. Hey, y'all hear it, man. Let's go to the next sound. We got the next sound pulled up here, y'all. I actually went with the Blackberry Summer Nights out of the Summer Night preset bank and Analog Lab by Infinite and Lifestyle did it. Here's what it sounds like. Y'all hear that? It sound real atmospheric, y'all. I love them ambient sounds on the R&B beat. But let's go ahead and play the pattern. Y'all hear it, man. It sounds amazing. I actually got a little grace notes in here. Just a little bit. Going up to G. Going up to A sharp. You want to stay in key if you're going to do those grace notes as well, y'all. We want to stay within the scale. Down to G sharp, down to G. Same grace note right there. Once again, same one as previously before, going up to that A sharp. And I added a little something different at the end. But that's pretty much that. Let me show you how I mix it up real quick. Got the mix pulled up here, y'all. I went with a basic EQ to start out. Cut out the lows. Brought up a little bit of the mids and the high mids as well. I didn't really touch the high end on this one. Compressor, brought the threshold down. Y'all want to make sure y'all use these compressors, whether it's the stock Fruity compressor or one that you downloaded. Just a compressor going to help balance out those sounds, y'all, because sometimes some notes in your pattern sometimes will be way louder than others, sometimes with frequencies too. But the compressor just helps bring it all together so it sounds seamless, and it helps blend in those sounds with the other sounds you already got too. But yeah, use that compressor. I went with a reverb on it. That's with the reverb. I went pretty aggressive on the mix knob, 63.3%, cut out some of the low end. Here's it without the reverb. And with the reverb one more time. So y'all pretty much hear that, man. For those past couple sounds, I got them leveled as y'all can see here. And I got the piano to the right, pan to the right, pad, pan, say that 5 times fast. Pad, panned to the left. And I got the EP pan to the right, y'all. And the next sound I got coming up is going to be pan to the left, followed by the sound after that, pan to the right. Let's go to the next sound. It's a bell. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Next sound loaded up. I went with the bell called Happy out of the Genesis Volume 2 Honestfair preset bank by allblue.com. It sounds like this. Also got a little mix on it, but I'll show y'all that in a second. But let's go ahead and play out the pattern. All right, got the pattern pulled up. Pretty simple pattern. It's basically on the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and of pretty much this whole pattern going throughout the whole set. G sharp up to actually G natural up to A sharp. So let's go ahead and play it. Y'all hear it, man. It sounds pretty good. That's pretty much it. Just kind of another extra counter melody I want to add on it, but let me show y'all how I mixed it up. Start out with a basic EQ on the bell. Just took out some of the harsh frequencies right there in the mids and in the high mids a little bit, brought them down a little bit, and I brought up the high end just slightly. Once again, y'all, I told y'all want to make sure I use them compressors. I went with 14.7 on the threshold on these, 6.9 on the ratio. Didn't touch the gain, didn't touch nothing at the bottom. Next, I went with a reverb. Valhalla, man, y'all already know what it do, man. Y'all seen it in all y'all videos that y'all watch. That's how I learned out about it. So here it is with reverb. And here it is without the reverb. Cut the reverb back on. Hey, this is a tough structure so far, y'all. Tough structure. I gotta show y'all this next sound, and this really gonna set it off. Really gonna compliment it. So I'm gonna show y'all that right now. So with this next sound, I went with the 80s lead guitar, also out of the all blue Genesis Volume 2 Omnisphere bank, available in Omnisphere. Here's what it sounds like, y'all. Almost like a little rock guitar, a little bit. But the velocity is what helps give that sound a little wang or twang, whatever you want to call it, to it. And when you press it a little softer, y'all hear the difference. So let's go ahead and go to the pattern and let y'all see what I came up with. I feel like I'm just... Hey, that guitar sets it off. And I was a little skeptical about using it at first because when I just seen what it sound like, but when I actually started playing it with the rest of the patterns that I got, rest of the sounds, man, I said I gotta use this. Let me show y'all how I mixed it up. All right, so I went with a regular EQ on this guitar, and as y'all can see, I cut out a large amount of the low, a large amount of the highs, and I brought down the mids. I could have used a shelf, but I also wanted to bring down the mids as well. So here's it actually without the EQ. As y'all can hear, without that EQ, it's very aggressive. Very aggressive. I'm not going to say what I really wanted to say, but it's very aggressive. Here it is with the EQ. Y'all see here how that EQ is controlling all those frequencies right there. Compressor, we had this conversation. Use it. The chorus, I put a little chorus on there. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Let me actually cut the reverb off and the EQ so y'all can hear how it sounds with that chorus on there. And here's it without the chorus. So like I told y'all, that chorus is gonna add a little extra texture to it, y'all. Y'all see it's got those LFO knobs and all that stuff like that. It makes it a little more wavy, y'all. It's like an amplifier. Honestly, that's really what it sounds like. And put the reverb back on there and the EQ. So I went really aggressive on the reverb, y'all, 49.2%. And I actually did turn it down a little bit more, just slightly in the mixer knob, but I kind of wanted to be more of a background sound. That's also why I put a lot of that EQ on it as well and control those frequencies. But I got that sound pan to the right. But that's pretty much most of the main sounds, y'all. Next, we're going to go into the sub 808 bass, and then we're going to the drums. Got the sub pattern pulled up, y'all. I went with 808 5 out of the Broken Hearts kit by Lifestyle Did It. Shout out to him for the drum once again. I use a lot of his drum sounds on my R&B beats. But let y'all hear what it sound like. That's what it sound like, y'all. I went from B, A, pretty much following the pattern of those root notes from that piano earlier. I actually kind of went up a little bit to add a little more groovy part to it. Up to E, down to B, down to A. And then G, kind of walk up from an E to a G to an A natural. And then I walk back down part of the end. But I'm going to go ahead and play it for y'all so I can hear it. Hey, crazy. The end part, I really like the end part. I'm gonna play the end for y'all one time. Man, it's crazy. I'm gonna show y'all how I mixed that up real quick. With the sub, took out the highs. Y'all seen, if you've seen my last videos, I take out a very small amount of the lows so it don't be too muddy on that low end. And then I got a compressor, threshold, and ratio. I really kind of went a little aggressive on both of those, but I turned it up a lot. I needed to be, yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to have more depth and more sound, give that more stereo sound effect. So like if you riding, playing this beat in your car or whatever, I wanted to give that resonance. Went with a limiter. Limiter just tied into the kick. I actually sub-chained the kick, but I'm gonna show y'all that in a second. And the wave shaper to even make it a little more bigger than what it is. And the P controller, I'll explain all that in just a second. All right, y'all, now we finna get into these drums. That's what's really gonna add that bounce and just that overall feel to the beat. Starting off with a kick. I went with kick 4 out of the Broken Hearts drum kit by Lifestyle Did It. Sounds like that. So let's go ahead and play the pattern I came up with. Now, I probably could have left a little more space within that pattern, but I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I mean, it's my beat. That's what I was feeling, and I think it sounds good. So, but I'm gonna show y'all what I did to mix it up and how I tied it into the sub. I'm gonna explain all that stuff I was talking about with the P controller real quick. All right, y'all, I got each one of those plugins pulled up. I got the EQ for the kick, and I got the limiter that's placed on the sub, and the P controller that's actually on the sub as well. I'm gonna show y'all how I tie them into each other. So as y'all can see on the limiter, I got it side chained to the kick on the compressor tab on the limiter. And pretty much as y'all can see right here, those waves, the kick, the limiter is actually muting the sub down a little bit when the kick comes in. As y'all can see right here, those purple waves. So just play with those knobs a little bit, the threshold and the knee, so it can give you that right balance that you're looking for. So it's not peaking and overlapping each other. And with the kick, I got the EQ. If y'all don't know how to use a P controller, you're going to right click whatever frequency that you got over here. You want to click it over here on these sliders right here. And you want to hit link to controller. And basically, as y'all can see, I got a link to the peak controller with the LFO. And I have the peak controller on the sub. So you want to go into that, click, and then click peak control, peak plus LFO. And it's going to link it to that peak controller that you have on the sub. And then from there, you're just going to play with those knobs that you actually have on the peak controller. I'm going to show y'all, if y'all pay attention to the fruity parametric EQ, when I go with the volume, on the LFO actually, the volume, y'all see that number 4 is actually moving up and down a little bit. But you really want to leave that in the middle. And in the bass, it's going to go how far it's going to go. So the volume is actually going to control the volume portion of it, and then the bass is just gonna tell you actually how far down you actually gonna bring that frequency controller down. Okay, so show y'all how it's all tying in. So I don't have the bass up super high, but as y'all can see, everything is tying into each other and working to help balance each other out. Pretty much, that's what I got going on there, y'all. So yeah, I actually just gave y'all a quick little mixer tutorial on how to sidechain and tie in your kicks and your subs so they're not louder than the other. Welcome to Two Time University. But anyway, let's get into these next sounds, y'all. All right, so next sound we're going with, as far as the drum fill, we're going with a snare, okay? Y'all know snare is very important, or a clap, whatever you want to do it, but you need that 2 and 4 most of the times on these 4/4 type beats. I went with snare 3.2 out of the Broken Hearts kit by Lifestyle Did It. Once again, sounds like that. So here's what it sounds like, y'all. As y'all hear, man, that snare sounds amazing. It actually has a little reverb tail on it, as y'all can see down here in the wave file. But yeah, I really like that snare. I'm gonna show y'all how I mix it up real quick. Didn't really do nothing crazy, y'all. It didn't really need no reverb or anything like that. Just a compressor. Use those. With your snares and your hi-hats and your kicks, you don't want to touch the ratio much on those. It almost acts like the attack a little bit, honestly. But the threshold, that'll help basically balance them all together. And then the EQ, I brought out the main pop of my snare around the low mids. And then I brought out some of the highs a little bit around the high end. Let's go ahead and go into the hi-hats and the open hi-hats. All right, so I went ahead and put up the hi-hat pattern. I went with hi-hat 3 to Sizzle out of the ATL Culture Volume 1 drum kit by Tri-Freeze. I think I used this hi-hat on my last tutorial. I don't know. I really like the hi-hat, y'all. I don't care. It sounds good. It's my beat. But this is what it sounds like. I think I actually did. Had to think for a second, but I think I actually did start that hi-hat a little earlier. I think I cut off a little bit of the sample start. Yeah, I did. I cut it off a little bit so it started a little earlier right here. Make it sound a little bit more snappy than what it is. But let's go ahead and play the pattern for y'all. Hey, hi-hat pattern is going crazy. It's not too wild, but it's complementing everything else just well. It's perfectly in sync. Basically start out with a basic 2-step pattern, added a roll right here. Then I brought some pitches down. Left a little space right here, y'all, so I can let the sample kind of breathe a little bit. Followed by another roll, couple pitches down, then another roll I brought down right here. Before I get into this part, I gotta explain it to y'all. Triplet fill, y'all. I went with a triplet fill. Triplet, and triplet, whatever you want to call it, however, whatever. But it's basically just triplets, y'all. Triplet. Play with the velocities a little bit right here. I brought some down a few pitches. I kind of got those above this walk down part I got right here. I got the first 2 down a little bit less than the first one. And I got the last 3 actually lower than all of them. So you want to make sure when you add some of these hi-hat rhythms and rolls and stuff like that, that you play around with the velocity, y'all. Because sometimes if you leave them all the same, then your hi-hats will just be too loud, y'all. They be doing too much. And those lower pitches compared to those high frequency pitches, it's going to kind of just be too much. So you want to make sure you bring something down so they kind of balance each other out. But here's that pattern real quick. Hey, crazy. Before we get into the open hi-hat, I want to show y'all how I mixed up the hi-hat real quick. Went with the EQ, cut out a lot of the low end, brought out a little bit of the high. That's pretty much what I do on all my sounds, y'all, especially my hi-hat. If you've seen my last video, I don't really like dull sounding hi-hat, so I brought out the high end a little bit. Sounds like that. And I put a reverb on it. I actually did. Reverb on your hi-hats for your R&B beats is the secret sauce, y'all. Trust me. You don't want to put too much, though, okay, because the hi-hat is already a very consistent sound, and that reverb tail, when you hear it, especially on a two-step pattern, it's going to be too much. So you want to put just a little bit. I went with 3.6. And here's it without the reverb. Y'all hear the difference with the reverb one more time. Secret sauce, 2-Time University. You're welcome. All right, y'all, time for the open hi-hat. Real simple. I didn't really do much. I went with the open hat 1 out of Lifestyle Did It Broken Hearts drum kit. Sound like that. So let's go ahead and play the pattern for y'all. Complimented very well. Here's the mix for it. EQ, like I said, y'all, bring the high end up a little bit, cut out a lot of low ends on my hi-hats and my cymbals and stuff like that. And compressor. Use the compressor. So for the next portion of the drums, I went with a perk. I went with perk 4 out of the R&B Essentials drum kit by Lifestyle Did It. He didn't lie when he named it R&B Essentials. If you want those essential drum sounds, download this kit, y'all. I promise y'all won't regret it. But here's the pattern. As y'all see, I pretty much got it, same thing, copied over for both halves of the pattern. But I got it coming right after the snare. And it's also layered with the open hi-hat. Here's the mix for that perk. I just cut out some of the harsh frequency that was right there on this one part in the high mids. It was like super aggressive, and I cut out a lot of the low ends. And I just put a reverb on it. 10.1%. Reverb helps with perks a lot on your R&B beats, y'all. So y'all want to use that. Y'all gonna want to use that. Next sound. Time for the next sound. All right, y'all. So following after that perk, I went with another percussion sound. I went with a rim. I felt I was gonna complement this really well. When I was clicking through it, man, it just hit, y'all. Let y'all see what it sound like. It's gonna be rim 8 out of the Lifestyle Did It R&B Essentials drum kit. I told y'all, essentials. That boy did not lie. I got it layered on the first snare of both halves of the pattern. All right, y'all. So that's pretty much most of the drum sounds that I got on the beat. I did put a cymbal on here. I went with cymbal 1 out of Lifestyle Did It R&B Essentials drum kit. Sounds like this. Really help with those transitions coming out of hook to verse, verse to hook, however you want to, whatever your format is. And I also added a riser. The risers came somewhere out of my files, y'all. I don't know. I typed in riser down here in the search, and I found one I like. And here's what both of those sound like together. As y'all can hear, man, those transition parts, like I said, coming out of hook, going into your verse, going back into the hook, those risers, those cymbals, gonna be the true secret sauce. It's gonna help build up the anticipation. Pretty much just add those climaxes to those hooks and those verses, man. So y'all use risers and use cymbals on those parts in R&B for sure. Let's go ahead and show y'all the final mix that I did on all of this. All right, y'all. So on the master track, I pretty much just put an EQ on it to get rid of some of those harsh frequencies that's coming out. So I'm gonna let y'all see what I did real quick. Y'all hear that one? It was just way too loud. Round the 5, I'm around 1K. Woo, y'all hear that? That's gotta go. Around 2K, number 3. So that's gonna be around the snare, where your snare sound gonna kind of sit. And then number 2 is gonna be those hi-hats. The higher part of the EQ is gonna be those that S type syllable. So y'all hear that? So, and I also put a soft clipper on there, y'all. And y'all know the rules to the soft clipper. Put it on there. Don't touch it. Do not touch the soft clipper. Leave it as is. It's gonna do all the work on its own, I promise you. There you have it, y'all. That's pretty much the beat. I wish I could have showed y'all me in the process of making a beat. I was recording it, but by the time I finished the beat and checked my screen recording software, I seen it just decided to not be my friend anymore, man. It had froze up on me and stopped recording. But I still find a way to be able to bring out this video. That ain't stopping nothing. And don't worry, I know my computer's probably getting a little old, but your boy 2-time upgrading to a new one soon, so I can bring out the best quality content that I can bring y'all, man. I appreciate all the love and support so far. Let's go ahead and get into the beat. I want y'all to check out the transitions I got in there, man. I showed y'all the electric piano. I showed y'all the piano melody. I showed y'all the piano chords, how to strum them. I showed y'all the drums. I showed y'all how to mix that kick and that sub, how to put that P control and that limiter on there, man. I really dropped gems for y'all today, man. I really did. But y'all told y'all can trust your boy, man. 2-time University. We here, we locked in, we loaded. But anyway, here's the beat, man. Y'all let me know who y'all hearing the beat. All these beats I've been making from scratch so far. I go in with nobody in mind when I make these beats. So y'all let me know who y'all hearing the beat in the comments below. That's enough talking. Appreciate the support. Let's get into the beat. Piano melody so crazy. First verse right here. Took the piano out, left just the pad. Let your piano back in, bell back in. Piano chords back in, but down an octave actually. Hook. Guitar coming in too smooth. Hey, this beat too tough, man. I told y'all, man. I told y'all. And there y'all have it. That's today's beat, man. I hope y'all like it. Go ahead and drop a comment who y'all hear on the beat. Drop your thoughts. If you feel like I can improve anywhere, let your boy know. Talk to 2-time, man. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you stay updated when I drop any new videos. And drop a like for your boy below. I really will appreciate that. I'm dedicated to giving y'all real, genuine, and authentic content, man. Y'all gonna see the real when it comes to me making beats, man. It ain't easy, but repetition, man, dedication, hard work, will get you where you need to be. That's really enough talking, y'all. If you haven't, check out my last videos. Got good tutorials out there for y'all as well. Had to get back in the R&B bag today, though, y'all. So I hope y'all like everything I got so far. Appreciate all the love and support. That's enough talking, man. It's your boy 2-time. I'm out. I'll holler at y'all later.